Hello everybody. Let's do a Q&A. We haven't done one of those in quite a while. I have 3 pages of questions, so let's get to them. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. First question from Leslie Sweeney. Where is the dojo? She asked. Leslie, the dojo is in Mason, Ohio. Mason is about 20-30 miles northeast of Cincinnati and Ohio. If you've heard of Kings Island, the big theme park, we're not too far from there. Procter & Gamble headquarters is here. J&J is very close. It's a very beautiful, very small city-like town called Mason, Ohio. And we have an affiliate dojo up in North Country Dojo, it's called, and that's up in Malone, New York. So if you're way up north in New York, you can train at an affiliate dojo. As a matter of fact, here's a picture of this past Saturday where we awarded David Johnson his 4th degree black belt, his Yondan. That's a very rare rank in this martial art to get. So Sensei Norfleet and Sensei Danes went up there and taught a seminar and a couple classes and surprised Mr. Johnson with his 4th degree black belt. We zoomed in. It was a great time, and Mr. Johnson's doing great up there. He already has about 50 students, and he opened less than a year ago, which is great. So if you're up in that area and you want to train with an affiliate dojo, go up to Malone, New York, or here in Mason, Ohio. And his dojo's in Franklin County. Your little sister wrote, I'd love to know whether you think it's worth sharpening the blades on a shuriken. Some of the shuriken that come through, like from cold steel, are really good as is. It depends on what you want to use them for. If you have a decent target, you really don't need to sharpen your shuriken. You can though. I sharpen some of mine at home, and I'll probably do a video on how to sharpen them. It's not hard, but I like to have mine a little sharper than normal for different types of targets. If they're ground a certain way, they'll stick perfectly fine, but if you have trouble throwing them and they're not sticking, it could be the grain of wood might be the wrong direction, or they may need a sharpening. Just like all types of blades, you should maintain and sharpen them, because often from the company, they're not sharpened very well. You can do a much better job with a good file. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Basilis Sakalos asked, have you ever watched Koryu Kenjutsu? It's fast as lightning. Yes, I practice Koryu Kenjutsu. Koryu just means old style martial arts from a certain time period back. Kenjutsu is very fast. I love it. We train it here at the dojo all the time. It can be very, very fast. But is it Iaido or is it fighting with another person? Those are totally different martial styles. Often Iaido is done by yourself. Kenjutsu is often done with 2 people or multiple attackers, but they have different schools, different styles of doing it. There's a bunch out there, but I love watching Koryu Kenjutsu. It's very inspiring. It really helps keep your mind clear and sharp. Jimmy Pagalomi, I have been studying sound, ki, for over 10 years now. I've noticed the strength in your ki since I've become a subscriber. I'd like to learn new things. I believe that ki originally came from the ninja and probably India before that. Can you please do a video on ki? Thank you. Jimmy, I might do a video on ki. It's nothing mystical or magical. It's just ki is the energy and I is harmonizing. It's harmonizing your voice with the universe, but don't think of it as anything mystical. It's yelling out your intention to frighten the opponent, to freeze the opponent, to get the element of surprise, to scare somebody. So a ki you and I have been yelling out for years. If we see our child running toward the street, we yell out, stop! That's a ki. We use them all day long. When you yell at someone, it could be a ki. In martial arts, it does help, because if you let out that shout just before you attack, or as you're attacking, it keeps you breathing, and it can really disorient the opponent. So a ki is cool. You see it in anime and movies and stuff, and all over really, but it's a fun thing to do. It does work only once. It's a surprise, so you're not going to do it many times or you'll look kind of ridiculous. It can work in self-defense, especially if you're being attacked by someone and you're naturally afraid and you yell, stop, leave me alone. That is a ki. It's telling your intention. It's really helpful with cameras. If they pick it up nowadays, you can hear the vocals and pick up the audio. It really will help you in a court of law. So I recommend practicing ki when you're training once in a while. MM asked, have you ever seen 13 Assassins? In my opinion, it's the best samurai movie ever made. I loved 13 Assassins. I thought it was a great movie. The characters were good, although most of those movies are ripped off from the Seven Samurai, the Magnificent Seven. All those are kind of rehashes, but they're really good movies. I like the story. I liked the leaders of the two different factions. You had the older leader of the 13 Assassins, and then you had his dojo training partner who was the bad guy's protector. It was a really weird type of movie, but I liked it. The fight scenes were good. The whole last battle, you guys remember that? It was like the last 20 minutes was one solid sword fight. It was fantastic. So much blood and gore. I mean, it's not for the faint-hearted. But as far as samurai movies go, I forget the director's name, Miike or Takeshi, something like that. Very famous director from Japan. That was his creme de creme of samurai movies, and I forget what year that came out, like 2000 something. I loved that movie. I thought it was one of the best I've seen in the last decade, maybe 2 decades. JD, I am new to your channel. I really enjoy your sword reviews. Thank you, JD. Do you have a favorite weapon that you teach? I see you like swords, sticks, and shuriken, and I even saw you with a sai. I don't have a favorite weapon, JD. I think that's bad to even say. If I say I have a favorite weapon, then automatically I want to go to that weapon. I want to teach that weapon more because I'm comfortable with it. And then if I say I don't like a certain weapon, I'll tend to develop an aversion to it. I won't study it as much because there's something that I'm not good at, or I'm afraid to practice it for some reason. I just don't feel like I'm skilled enough in it. So you can see that once you label something my favorite and my worst weapon, you start to mentally favor one or the other, and that's not a good way to practice overall. The best thing to do is to like all weapons, and that's the mentality over the last 30 years that I have developed, is I like all weapons. I really do. I don't have a favorite. Whatever you throw into my hand is now my favorite weapon. Whatever class that we are studying that day, that is my favorite weapon. I try to hyper-focus on each one that we do, and we rotate in our weapons classes, which we have every Tuesday here at 7 o'clock. Every 4 or 5 weeks we do a new weapon. We use modern weapons, ancient weapons. So I don't have a favorite weapon that you might be thinking. Of course I love the sword, the staff, the shuriken, all those. I love them all. And I don't want to box myself in by saying, here's my favorite. Otherwise, I'll never develop the discipline to get better at the others that I don't care for. So I like them all. I really do. I'm not just saying that. I love all weapons. I like the tall, the short, the throwing. You name it, I love it. Z wrote, can you link the site to buy that katana that you showed, the handmade one from Japan? Z, I'm not sure which katana you mean because I have a whole bunch and I have a lot of Nihonto from Japan. My guess, Z, and I don't mean this to be flippant in any way or to pass it off, you have to research. And I say this over, I get dozens of questions. Where did you get this? Where did you get that? When a simple Google search will answer all of those questions. I tell people to go and research because I don't want to baby people. I want them to learn, as I did, to go to the internet and research. That's how you get better at a subject. All of my swords, I have found, almost all the swords I have are not anything that is secret or you can't find or you have to go through a collector. A couple times I've done that, but you can go to eBay right now. Go to eBay and type in handmade or Japanese Nihonto, Japanese katana. You're going to get a whole list of hundreds. And then you go through and you just go to the left, how much do you want to spend? And that's how I find my stuff. And then I get to know certain companies, certain people, certain sword makers, and that's how I order my things. It's nothing special. A simple internet search is our best friend, and I mean that sincerely. If you want to learn about a subject, just Google it. All of us have internet. You're watching it right now. Type in whatever you're looking for. You might type in shopping or go to a certain website like eBay, and you're going to see all kinds of stuff from all over the world, and you'll be able to find exactly what you're looking for. But I don't have exact links to where I buy stuff because it's changing every day. Simon's channel asked, how come some students wear white gis and others wear black? It's a good question, Simon. When you start out at our martial art dojo, all dojos are different. You start in a white gi, a keiko gi. It's a uniform that we all wear, and you wear that gi for at least 1 year. 9 months to a year. Every 3 or 4 months, if you earn your new rank, after you get to the 3rd, 4th rank, and we know you're going to stay in the dojo, you might be invited into the Black Belt Club, which is a special Saturday class that we do every Saturday from 12 to 1, where we work on skills to get you to black belt. Things that you don't see in the regular curriculum. A lot of different weaponry, ground fighting, sparring we do, all kinds of different things that you're not going to see. That is the people that wear the black gi. So if you wear the white gi for the first year, you recommit yourself to earn your black belt, and you're allowed to come to the Black Belt Club every Saturday. You do not have to be a member of the Black Belt Club to earn your black belt. You can stay in a white gi for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter really what color gi you wear. It has nothing to do with your skill level. It has to do with your commitment. All the belts behind me on the wall, you can see them, they start way over there and they go way down. Those are people who are committed to get their black belt here at this dojo, and that can take anywhere from 4, 5, 6, 7 years. It depends on how many classes you come to. These people all wear a black gi, and they're in the Black Belt Club. They come every Saturday. That is a way for the teachers to know who's doing what where. So you start in a white gi and you earn your way into the black gi after you have committed and not quit, because we want to weed out the people that aren't going to stick around. The people in the black gis are very serious practitioners who really want to delve into the depth of this martial art, study all the weaponry and all the different schools and things. They want to be kind of scholarly about it. They really want to train hard. Those are the people in the black gi. Phil Ryan from Ronin Ninjutsu asked, is the curriculum book you show in the video available for purchase? I love your video. Thank you. Thank you, Phil. Yes and no. Our curriculum book that I wrote, we have a soft cover copy and a hard cover copy. Both of those are available pretty much only to in-house students. If you had the book, you can get one as like a collector's thing, but most of it you won't understand unless you train here physically. The techniques are written out and designed so that they cannot be copied easily by someone off of the street. But if you go to eBay on our dojo page, you can find an occasional curriculum book that's for sale there, almost always the hardback version, and it's usually a signed collector's copy, but you can get those there. We don't sell them to people off of the street only because they just wouldn't understand what's in it. It's like reading Greek. The books are designed to be carried into class and to train with. All the techniques we do are written out there. All the different strikes, the kicks, how to get your black belt is all in that book. It's a handbook for those who are actively training on the mats. It really won't do a lot of good sitting on your shelf. It's meant to be something that is a companion that you bring to class that you study with. You can find the book occasionally online, but I don't recommend it to people unless you're really going to get it out and train at your dojo and kind of decipher it and figure it out with your students. Vogan Poet, have you seen the Rurouni Kenshin series of 5 movies? I'm sorry, I have not seen those. I don't know if that's manga or anime or whatever. I haven't seen that. I don't watch a lot of those types of movies. I don't watch anime. If I'm relaxing at home, I'm watching YouTube or we're out doing something in the yard. I have not seen those Rurouni Kenshin, I'm sorry. Bigsby's Hand, how can I contribute some money to your channel? It has given me and my dojo so much value for so many years. I really want to give something back as a gift. I don't know how you do that. I don't do live things like super chat, so I don't know how you would give money. You don't have to. We're doing fine. I think there's something through YouTube. If you click on gift, you can probably give some there, but I've never asked for money. We don't need money here at the dojo. Everything that we do on this channel is free. I can't stand it when other channels are always asking for money. If you really want to contribute, you could send money to the dojo, but I don't think you don't have to do that, Bigsby's Hand. Just you watching our videos is enough. If you feel compelled to do something, you can send it to the dojo, or you can find out through YouTube and click on gift and see what that does. I'm not sure how any of that really works. But just your support is plenty enough. We appreciate you just watching. Renaga the Fish, I caught your relaxation oil painting series that you did. How many episodes did you record? Will you ever start painting again? Did you ever get to meet Bob Ross in person? Well, I used to love watching him on PBS after school. I'd fall asleep to him. He's the original ASMR guy. The Relaxation Oil Painting series is something I did on YouTube a few years ago. I think I did 3 of those series with 10 paintings each, so about 30 episodes. I loved doing it because I love to paint. I'm not very good at it, but I paint in the style of Bob Ross, and I've taught classes in the style of Bob Ross. A lot of people don't know that he did 3 paintings to every episode. All of those episodes that you see on Twitch or wherever you watch, he planned out a painting beforehand and he painted it. Then he did a second painting that he would look at on the show. So if you watch Bob painting, you'll often see him look off quickly. He's looking at a painting that he did of the one he's doing live. And then he did a third painting when they took photos of it for all of his instructional books. He has thousands of paintings that he did, and several of them are not exact copies, but they're copies of the one he did before. I've sold a lot of my paintings, but I still have about, I'd say, 10 or 11 left. Someday I'll put them for sale. I just don't have them right now. But I appreciate you watching, but I don't know when I'm going to paint again. I like to paint more in the winter. When it's summertime, we're outside doing stuff around the house, and I'm traveling around and doing stuff outdoors, and I tend to work on music more in the summer. I'm working on 2 albums right now, and in the winter for relaxation I will paint again, but I don't know when, and I don't know if I'll record those. We'll see. Maybe. It's not my job to paint, but I have to be inspired to want to paint, and that hasn't come in a little bit. It'll come again. Everything's a cycle. I think everything artistic is a cycle. There comes a time where you're going to want to do it, you're going to want to put the brushes down, and then you're going to want to pick it up again when you feel inspired by something. Shinobi877, I can see you are a supreme master of the 9 Ryu. No. What is your favorite school in Budo to study of the 9 lineages? Shinobi, thanks for the compliment. I am no supreme master. I'm no master. I don't like the word master. You cannot master anything, really. You can be good at something. You can be an expert. But to master it assumes that you're arrogant and egotistical and that you've learned it all. You can't learn anymore because you're a master. I'm a master. Don't call yourself a master, and I don't think you should call anyone a master. I don't think there is such a thing in the form that I'm thinking of, which is you cannot possibly learn everything there is about one subject. If you are studying, you will always learn something new, but I appreciate the sentiment. I don't have a favorite school, just like the weapons we talked about. There are some that are more practical than others. The Koto Ryu, the Takagi-yoshin Ryu, the Kukishin, the Shinden Fudo. Those are the ones that have a lot of actual techniques that you can use. But the obscure ones like the Togakure, the Gyokushin, those are ninjutsu schools and samurai schools that are not really practiced much anymore. They have obscure techniques, if any. Some of those schools hardly have any techniques, but they are interpretations. But I don't really have a favorite. I do believe that the Koto Ryu and the Gyoko Ryu complement each other beautifully. I think one came from the other. I think the Koto came from the Gyoko, which came from China. The Takagi has a lot of sitting techniques and a lot of bodyguard techniques, a lot of throws and joint locks and things like that. Striking, the Koppo Jitsu of the Koto Ryu is very good. The Koshi Jitsu of the Gyoko Ryu is very powerful. So to mix those schools together, you get a hell of a good style. You can study just one school or the other and be good at it, but I love the idea of moving around to the different schools to find out their specialties and then working and finding the strength in each one. But I wouldn't say I have a favorite. Whatever school I'm studying that day is my favorite. Effervescence, do you teach mudra in your dojo before a technique? Mudra are a symbolic hand gesture which is used in Hinduism, it's used in Buddhism, and you do certain things with your hands to bring about what you're feeling, your intention, what your thought is in the future. You might be thinking of past things, or you might be focusing on the moment. So there are hundreds, not thousands, there are hundreds of mudra that a lot of Hindu gods use or Buddhist deities use. But a mudra is just what you do with your hands. There are 9 that we use for the ninja, but this always gets people fighting with each other. I don't believe that there's any power in the mudra except for your intention. You're not going to be able to form a mudra like you see in movies and call down a beam of light or a bolt of lightning to strike somebody. You're not going to be able to change the weather with something you do with your hands. Don't believe that stuff. If there's evidence for it, I would love to see it. And can it be scientifically scrutinized? I would love to see if mudra worked or anything like that. When you send an emoji, most emojis are mudra. You send a thumbs up, good job. That is a mudra. I wish you well. I didn't like what happened. Hey, get out of my lane. Those are all mudras. Those are all mudras. And we've been doing these. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. We all have them. Anytime you're doing something, stop, leave me alone. Whatever it is, I love you. That was a delicious meal. Those are all mudra. So they're part of our culture. They're a communication through your hands rather than just your speech. And often they go hand in hand with that. So mudra we can do. I have taught a couple in the dojo for historical purposes. Do I believe they have power to them? Not really. But if they give you power, if you feel powerful and they help you with whatever you're doing and you form something with your hand to pray or to give you hope, go for it. If it works or you think it works, do it. Why not? Is there evidence for this stuff working, miraculous things and changing the future? I don't believe I've seen anything to bolster that theory. But if mudra is something that you want to add, go for it. It's your life. If you think it works, have fun with it. I heard you mention Kamae. What does that mean? Kamae is a Japanese word, K-A-M-A-E. Kamae means your base, your, you could say, stance. But it's also your mental attitude. How do you start? You've seen Kamae. It's how you set up your defense. Every one of us has a Kamae. The way that we walk is Kamae. The way that we lean against an object is Kamae. The way that our body sits on the ground is Kamae. Right now, I'm sitting with Kamae. When we're scared and we blade and we turn and we put our hands up, that is Kamae. It is setting up a strategy, an intention, a thought process. It also can evoke our emotions. Animals also form Kamae. Think of an eagle with its wings spread or a tiger with its claws up. All of these things are bodily, physical ways of expressing what our emotions are thinking at that time. If I say have a good Kamae, I mean bend your knees, get low. You don't want to lose your balance. So in order to maintain your balance, you have to have good, solid Kamae, and that takes flexibility and strength of your legs. But all martial arts have some sort of Kamae in starting position and ending position. So if you hear me say Kamae to my students in class, it just means check your base. How is it? Are your shoulders over your hips, over your knees, or are you going to fall? Is your back bending? Are your hands dropping so that your face isn't protected? Are you here in the moment, or are you outside spacing away? I want you to be here in the moment because a punch is coming in or a sword is coming down. You need to have a good Kamae to protect yourself. All right, everybody, let's stop it there for today. But we'll do a part 2 and finish the rest of these next week. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. Take care. Have a great time training at your school, wherever you live. Be safe, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.